And here comes Hercules, making his way to the ring with a microphone as we open up Saturday Night Dystopia. Welcome everyone, I am Infinite Fantasy and we're here at the Yokohama Arena here in Japan. Wednesday on Brawl, it was meant to be my moment. Everything I have worked to build was meant to culminate in that moment. I should have had Charles Elliot dead to rights. I was supposed to destroy him in the ring, and then I will be the ruler of Grand Tour Wrestling. What happened on Brawl? What is not fair? I kept my end of the bargain. I released Damian. I let him go without so much as a scratch. But no, Mr. Elliot, you had to go back on your word. You assigned Steven Dynamite as before I was interrupted, I was sitting. You assigned Steven Dynamite as the referee. You knew he would never allow me to win. He refused to count when I had him dead to rights. And after he assaulted me in the ring, he gave me a fast count to allow you to retain your control of GTW. Shut up, all of you! All of you, shut up! I demand a rematch tonight! I want an unbiased referee, and I want the same conditions, or I swear! I swear! I swear, if I do not get my rematch tonight, there will be. And here comes Steven Dynamite making his way to the ring. Or you will do what? What is it you're gonna swear of? Well, look who it is. If it isn't the Grand Tour champion himself. Finally ready to show himself. Hercules, me and you have a lot of dirty laundry to air out. But before we do, Japan, your chosen one is here! Yes, that's right. Cheer for Dynamite. Cheer for the hypocrite. The so-called sheriff who went against everything he ever accused me of to screw me out of what is mine. First of all, Hercules, that match should have never taken place. Second of all, there was nothing in that contract saying there had to be a specific referee. Everything Charles Elliot did was all in accordance to the paperwork you made him sign after holding his son hostage. You being screwed over, that was all me. I am happy I did it too. Once, after you put me in a hospital bed for a month, all I could think about was handing you your receipt. The moment I was cleared, I got the first flight to Japan and I offered my services to Charles Elliot as the referee. And the rest of it? Me beating you enough for you to get pinned by him? Me delivering that fast count? That was my receipt for you for putting me in that hospital. But we're not done yet, Hercules. You see, I already took away what you wanted the most. Absolute control. But I still owe you one more receipt. That's right. I owe you for taking some innocent young man and making him your hostage. I owe you for your lackey injuring my friend Amanda Price. I owe you for that annoying, funny little Bond villain accent you have. Tomorrow night, me and you at the main event of the Rising Sun live on pay-per-view. Me and you for the Grand Tour title. And I will give you that second receipt when I make sure that my championship never, ever ends up in your waist again. Oh, and Hercules, tomorrow night, and this is official by Charles Elliot, is gonna be a street fight. You have been chosen. It's official. Tomorrow night, the main event, when Steven Dynamite defends the Grand Tour title, it's going to be in a street fight match. That means there'll be no disqualification. Anything goes. That'll be tomorrow night for the main event of the Rising Sun, which will be starting 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, live right here at Infinite Fantasy /twitch.tv. Tomorrow night we're going to have a big fight card. Not only do we have our main event, Steven Dynamite, now in a street fight, defending the Grand Tour title against Hercules. We're going to also have an underground match between Amanda Price and Amber Charlotte. A triple threat ladder match for the tag team titles. The Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys versus the Outlaws. Brenda Bison will be defending the women's title against Akima Sake in a submission match. Chosen will be defending the Intercontinental title against Benjamin Bourne. Kumiko Tanaka and Kana Nanako of the Syndicate will be putting the women's tag team titles on the line against WWE superstars Asuka and Io Sky of Damage Control. We have a World Heavyweight title match as Dio Sebastian will be defending against Archangel of the Old Gods. And we got triple threat action, Nathan O'Gray versus Barry Jenkins versus Shinosuke Nakamura. That's only tomorrow night's pay-per-view event, The Rising Sun, live streaming right here on Twitch. But for tonight on Dystopia, we're going to have the challenger for the Women's Championship tomorrow night, Akima Sake versus Japanese star Asmin. We're also going to have a United States Women's title match as Fuego Lopez will be challenging Paige Evans here tonight. And we got our main event for tonight on Dystopia. Dio Sebastian and the Witch of the Fallen
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Kobe, Japan, beautiful.
And here we have tonight's opening match for Saturday Night Dystopia. We have Akima Saki, who tomorrow night will be challenging the women's champion Brenda Bison in a submission match. This has been a long-awaited match for Akima Saki, as she has spent the better of over a month challenging Brenda Bison, trying to get her to agree to defend her title. Akima Saki wanting nothing more but a chance to compete for the women's championship in front of her friends and family in her home city of Tokyo, Japan. And what better way to get this crowd going?
Tokyo, Japan, the Superstar!
We have Asmin, a Japan Pro Wrestling star, coming out to challenge Akima Saki right here. What better way to get this Japanese crowd going here on Dystopia than to have this JPW superstar go up against Akima Saki, who's a rising star in GTW. This should be a very entertaining exhibition bout between these two women. And here comes the bell. And here's Akima Saki with the amazing kick, knocking his foot down, and follows up with a cross-body splash, springing off the second rope. Amazing athletic ability by Akima Saki here in this exhibition singles match. She better be careful not to wear herself too much, though, as she has a big match tomorrow night. What she's doing here is nothing more than a warm-up, where tomorrow she'll be taking on the women's champion Brenda Bison in a submission match. The objective is to make your opponent tap out. Whoever can make the other woman submit to the other will be crowned the Grand Tour Wrestling Women's Champion. Here comes Akima Saki. Talking to her opponent, going off the second rope, exerting more of that energy. And she's going for the pin, looking to end this match quickly. 1, 2, but Asmin manages to kick out. And there's a drop kick to the back of Asmin by Akima Saki. She comes, spring off the ropes, and a neck breaker. Akima dominating in this singles matchup thus far. He now drags Asmin, throwing her into the turnbuckle. And using the corner as leverage as she spins out into a DDT. And here she goes to the top rope, continuing that offense, going for a high-risk maneuver, goes for a frog splash, but nobody home. Here's Asmin, using her leg scissors to thrust Akima Saki's head right into the ring canvas. And again, Akima Saki has to be careful not to exert herself too much in this exhibition match. She's got to make sure she has enough energy to take on the women's champion tomorrow night at the Rising Sun pay-per-view. And here comes a drop kick by Asmin, coming off that top rope from outside the ring apron. Akima Saki now fighting back as she gets a face buster right into the ring. Here comes the pin. 1, 2, but Asmin manages to kick out. Here comes Akima Saki coming off the rope. Another drop kick by this rising GTW star here in the women's division. And a frog splash by Akima Saki. Here comes the pin. 1, 2, no, a kick out by Asman at the last second. I don't think Akima Sake can believe it. Kimasaki has Asman all tied up there like a pretzel as she goes in for that attack. And now, after tangling her up, she goes to work on that joint right at the elbow. Asman outside the ring, Kimasaki having a very bad idea and a front splash outside the ring. The referee starting the count out now. And Asman gets thrown against the steel stairs. We could be getting a preview of things to come tomorrow night at the Rising Sun. Kimasaki looking as confident as ever as she goes in with that flying drop kick. There she goes, coming off the top turnbuckle. Another front splash, this time it connects. 1, 2, 3, Akima Sake gets the win. And what's this? It's the women's champion, Brenda Bison. Coming out to confront her challenger, Akima Sake. These two will be squaring off tomorrow night at the Rising Sun in a submission match for the women's championship. Akima Sake not backing down from her opponent tomorrow night. And there's Brenda Bison holding out the belt. These two squaring off. It'll be Brenda Bison versus Akima Sake tomorrow night at the Rising Sun in a submission match. Whoever makes the other tap out, whoever makes the other surrender, will become the women's champion tomorrow night in our pay-per-view event. That'll be live tomorrow at Infinite Fantasy /twitch.com, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Ladies and gentlemen, we still got more to come tonight. We still got our women's U.S. title match between Fuego Lopez Dad, that was so brilliant. Why didn't you tell me that Steven Dynamite was going to make sure you won the match? I didn't know he was going to be the guest referee. You had me worried for nothing, Pops. Rule number 1 when playing chess. Keep your plays close to the chest. Only 3 people knew. Me, Dynamite, and the ring announcer. No one had a chance to counter because no one knew about it. I gotta hand it to you, Pops. That was definitely a big surprise. Good, because I have a bigger surprise for you tonight. I got you your first match tonight. Right here in Dystopia, right here in Japan, you're going to make your GTW in-ring debut. What? Are you serious? You got me my first match? Pops, thank you. But what about my ring gear? Go check your duffel bag in my office. I had new ring gear made for you. Now go out there and kick ass. Pops, I don't know what to say. Thank you. I won't let you down. I know you won't. Just know, win or lose, I love you. I love you too, Dad. This is so exciting! My first match! Welcome back, everyone. And it seems that director Charles Elliott, in celebration of keeping his control of GTW, has had a very nice surprise for his son, Damian Elliot, as Damian Elliot, who has been training very hard to be in-ring active, will be having his first match tonight, making his in-ring debut here in GTW. It's unknown who his opponent will be, but Damian will be making his first in-ring debut here tonight. However, coming up next, we got tag team action. We got some bad blood between Nathaniel Gray and Shinsuke Nakamura, and a lot of tension between Benjamin Bourne and the Intercontinental Champion, Chosen. As a preview for tomorrow night, where Benjamin Bourne will be challenging Chosen for the Intercontinental Championship, and where Nathaniel Gray will be competing against Shinsuke Nakamura and Barry Jenkins in a triple threat match tomorrow night at the Rising Sun. We're going to be having tag team action. Nathaniel Gray will be teaming up with Benjamin Bourne as they go up against Chosen and Shinsuke Nakamura. And this coming in from Gorilla, Charles Elliott has declared that Barry Jenkins, to make sure this match goes without a hitch, is banned from ringside, and if he is to interfere tonight, will not be able to compete in the triple threat tomorrow. But first, let's get into this tag team match. We got Benjamin Bourne, Nathaniel Gray versus Shinsuke Nakamura and the Intercontinental Champion, Chosen, coming up right here, right now on DYSTOPIA.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first, from Houston, Texas, weighing in at 275 pounds, Nathaniel Gray!
Here goes Nathaniel Gray, not exactly the biggest team player, however will be teaming up with someone a little more accustomed to his style, Benjamin Bourne. Nathaniel Gray, a former hardcore champion in GTW, has a while back been forced into these tag team matches against the very flashy Sugar Spice style of Barry Jenkins, and the two have not gotten along, to say the least. The two have competed in a couple of matches against each other, each having a win, only for Shinsuke Nakamura to get between them, with Shinsuke Nakamura interfering with Nathaniel Gray interfering in a match between Barry Jenkins and Shinsuke Nakamura. Those two wanted to go at it on Brawl, only for Barry Jenkins to get involved. And now the three will be having a triple threat match tomorrow night at the Rising Sun. And here comes Benjamin Bourne.
From Green Bay, Wisconsin, weighing in at 231 pounds, Bad Boy Benjamin Bourne!
Bad Boy Benjamin Bourne from Green Bay, Wisconsin only knows two things: fighting and more fighting. With red hair and a black heart, he steps into the ring as Nathaniel Gray's tag team partner. Tomorrow night, he will be taking on Chosen for the Intercontinental Championship at our big pay-per-view event, the Rising Sun.
Japan, weighing in at 220 pounds, Shinsuke Nakamura.
And here's Shinsuke Nakamura making his way to the ring, who has recently been trying to win the heart of the fans of GTW in all the wrong ways. Wanting to make a name for himself in this promotion after dominating in the WWE. He says his only goal is to prove that he is one of the top competitors as GTW makes its way here in Japan. And tomorrow night, he plans to make that statement as he enters that triple threat match between himself, Nathaniel Gray, and Barry Jenkins tomorrow night on the Rising Sun.
From Kyoto, Japan, weighing in at 202 pounds, the Intercontinental Champion, Chosen.
Here comes Chosen, the Intercontinental Champion. He will be defending his title against Benjamin Bourne tomorrow night at the pay-per-view Rising Sun. Remember, folks, all you have to do to watch this pay-per-view event is log in to Infinite Fantasy / Twitch.tv tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. We'll be live streaming right here on Twitch this big event, live streaming at the Tokyo Dome. Chosen, a big star in Japan, has recently made his way to the GTW roster, climbing the ranks as the Intercontinental Champion. He will be defending against Benjamin Bourne tomorrow night. And now we're going to start things off with Nathaniel Gray and Shinsuke Nakamura as the two legal men in this tag team matchup. There comes Nakamura, toying with Nathaniel Gray right here. This is going to be one of his two opponents in the triple threat tomorrow night. And here's Nathaniel Gray getting a receipt on Nakamura, and he goes rolling to a pin. One, and Nakamura kicks out. These two have been wanting to get a piece of each other ever since Brawl, thinking that they were going to be able to put hands on each other tomorrow night at the Rising Sun, but it looks like Nakamura and Nathaniel Gray won't have to wait. I can only imagine Barry Jenkins in the back right now watching this match, wishing he was in between these two, getting his hands dirty. And here comes Gray with that aggressive style he's known for. Nakamura using that technical prowess to counter Gray's aggressiveness. Gray throwing those elbows to the sternum. And Nakamura coming back, these two men going back and forth, but it seems Nakamura had won that receipt as he tags in the Intercontinental Champion Chosen. And here comes Benjamin Bourne. Now we're getting a preview of tomorrow night as these two men face each other for the Intercontinental Championship. And look at this, these two men countering pin for pin right here. There's no love lost between Bourne and Chosen. Chosen attempting to take Benjamin Bourne as a protege throughout the last 2 months, saying he was eyeing him as an apprentice, and Benjamin Bourne not exactly being grateful, saying he doesn't need a mentor. He's perfectly fine on his own. The two now going to settle the differences as Chosen puts the Intercontinental Championship on the line tomorrow night at the pay-per-view event. And it seems we're going to get a little preview right here as Chosen goes on the offensive on Benjamin Bourne. He tags in Nakamura, the two now going for a double team maneuver and a double axe handle. by Nakamura off the second rope on Benjamin Bourne. As Nakamura driving Benjamin Bourne back into his kneecaps. Nakamura once again uses those knees as a weapon as he utilizes them to weaken Bourne, and another double axe handle by Shinnosuke Nakamura. One, but no, Benjamin Bourne kicks out before the two. Here goes Nakamura, putting Benjamin Bourne in a fireman's carry. Here goes the pin. 1, 2, but Benjamin Bourne manages to kick out. Giving trouble here as Nakamura now lines Benjamin Bourne up. Benjamin Bourne goes to catch the kick, and Nakamura counters his counter. He goes for an Irish whip. Benjamin Bourne running into the referee. It might have not worked in his favor. Nakamura with an axe kick to the back of the head of Benjamin Bourne. And here goes Gray, now getting involved. He seems to have gotten a blind tag on Benjamin Bourne, and is now the legal man taking on Shinnosuke Nakamura. He could not wait to get into the ring against this man. Gray not waiting for that triple threat tomorrow night. He's now going completely on the offensive on Shinnosuke Nakamura. There he goes, driving the knee into the face of Shinnosuke. Shinnosuke immediately getting that hot tag in, jumping in to make chosen the legal man. The Intercontinental Champion now taking on the former Hardcore Champion in the middle of this ring. And here comes Gray with the German suplex. A second German suplex. And a third German suplex in Suplex City by Nathan O'Gray. And a Turn of the World Slam. He goes to tag in Benjamin Bourne. Here goes Bourne, laying in those hard hits on Chosen. And here comes the suplex off the top rope. Bourne pulling out all the stops. First a superplex on top rope. Now he goes to the other corner, throwing a swanton off the top turnbuckle. However, Shinnosuke Nakamura able to break up the pinfall. That's a tag. Bourne now tagging in Nathan O'Gray. There goes Gray with a chop to Chosen. And a spinning neck breaker. What athleticism, able to turn that landing into another power slam. Landing right on Chosen's body, throwing his entire body weight. And Gray using his finisher maneuver. Going for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Nathan O'Gray and Benjamin Bourne win tonight's tag team match.
Here are your winners, Nathaniel Gray and Bad Boy Benjamin Bourne.
What an amazing win by the former Hardcore Champion and Nathan O'Gray right now. This could be a preview of things to come as Nathan O'Gray takes on Shinnosuke Nakamura and Barry Jenkins in a triple threat tomorrow night at the Rising Sun. And don't forget, we also got Chosen will be defending his Intercontinental Championship against Benjamin Bourne tomorrow. That's going to be tomorrow at InfiniteFantasy/Twitch.tv. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back after a quick break on Dystopia.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Women's United States Championship.
And here comes the number 1 contender, Fuego Lopez, who had earned her spot after defeating Jasmine Nix on Wednesday Night Brawl. Right here at this very same arena, and we see Fuego Lopez sporting some brand new ring attire as this luchador gets ready for this championship match. And I see we got a comment from the chat section. Dark89, what's going on? How you doing? I'm glad you could join us. You're just in time to see this U.S. title match between Fuego Lopez and Paige Evans. And speaking of which, here comes Paige Evans, the Women's United States Champion, making her the way to the ring. She attained the title at Summer Bash after winning the 8-woman swimsuit battle royal at our last pay-per-view event. And this will be Paige Evans' first title defense as she takes on the number 1 contender Fuego Lopez right here at the Yokohama Arena here in Japan. We got a big pay-per-view night tomorrow, and what better way to start things off than to have a title match right here on Saturday Night Dystopia.
Introducing the challenger from Tala, Jalisco, Mexico, Lopez. And her opponent from Jacksonville, Florida, the Women's United States Champion, Paige Evans.
And here we go. There's the United States Champion, Paige Evans. Dark89 saying, boy, I don't know who to cheer for. These are two tough women here in GTW fighting for the gold right here. Winner of this match will be crowned the United States Champion. And we're off. Fuego Lopez starting off strong, springing off the ropes, going for a spinning frog splash on the Paige Evans. Now laying on the offense as she brings in those kicks to the back and midsection to the U.S. champion and knocks her down with the clothesline. Here she goes, slamming her head, knocking all the sense out of the U.S. champion. Remember, this is Paige Evans' first title defense since winning it at the Battle Royal at Summer Bash just a couple of months ago. And here's Paige Evans now having Fuego Lopez against the ropes. The referee breaking the two women up, and there's Paige Evans with a cheap shot after the ref breaks them up. Fuego Lopez goes in for the grapple. The two women tangled up. Paige Evans now once again bringing Fuego Lopez into the corner. The referee again attempts to break it up, but Paige Evans keeps the offensive on as she lays in that chop, and now she throws Fuego Lopez shoulder first right into the ring post. And here's Paige Evans choking out Lopez with a boot to the throat. Here comes Paige Evans getting to the top rope. Frog splash. Here comes the pin. 1, 2. But Fuego Lopez kicks out on 2. Paige Evans hopeful, but realizes she's probably going to have to do a lot more damage to the challenger if she's going to retain her U.S. title here tonight. Here she goes, lining up this luchador superstar. An Irish whip to the ropes. Fuego Lopez goes off. Paige Evans attempts a drop kick, but misses. Manages to counter though. Here comes Lopez, now attempting to drag Evans into the corner. Evans fighting back with those elbows to the midsection. Here she goes, throwing Lopez out of the ring. And what's Paige doing? It seems she's taunting her opponents. As she flies out of the ring, a cross splash right between the ropes outside the ring area. The fans right here in Japan getting a front row seat right at the action, getting their money's worth here at the Yokohama Arena. And here comes Lopez with a bulldog onto the outside mat. Lopez using that luchador style against Paige Evans. She's got to be careful. She cannot win the title from a countout. The U.S. title will not change hands in the countout, and I think Lopez knows that. As she uses a moonsault, first moving inside the ring, breaking up the count. The referee now will have to restart the countout. And there's Lopez throwing Paige Evans into the ring. The challenger fully aware that she must win by pinfall or submission in order for the title to change hands. Here comes Paige Evans, lining Lopez up. She goes for a chop to the chest with a series of kicks. Lopez counters though, but no, Paige Evans throws her onto the ring. There she is, twisting the knee of the challenger Fuego Lopez, trying to disjoint the leg there. If she weakens the leg, she can stop Fuego Lopez from using her high-risk maneuvers. An amazing devastator by Paige Evans. 1, 2, but Lopez kicks out on 2. Paige Evans looking to win this match with a submission hold. Will Lopez tap out? No, Lopez fighting back, throwing those punches into the side temple of Paige Evans. She goes for an Irish whip into the corner. And she's positioning her. Lopez using that luchador high-flying style she's known for. However, did not pay off. With it amazing as that athletic ability was, Paige Evans saw it coming, getting the knees up. Lopez trying to gain her bearings here. She sweeps her onto the ring. She gets into her leg scissors, a submission hold. Will Evans tap out? No, Evans fighting back now. Fighting her way out of the submission hold. Here comes an Irish whip. And there's an arm drag by Paige Evans. Followed by a moonsault by the U.S. champion. She now lines Evans up, looking to go for her finisher move. And a devastator once again by Paige Evans. Here goes the count. 1, 2, 3. No! No, I don't believe it. Lopez getting her shoulder up at the last second. I could have sworn that Evans was about to retain her U.S. title, but Lopez not giving up, getting that shoulder up at the very last second. And here comes Evans, looking to finish things off, going off the top rope with a cross-body splash. 1, 2, but again, Lopez kicks out. You can see the determination in this luchador. Here's Evans twisting the neck, wrecking it. Lopez though. Lopez managing to get the offensive there. Using her agility style. She now lines Evans up. Springing off the top rope with a hurricanrana. Here comes the count. 1, 2 for the title. Paige Evans got the rope break, but the referee didn't see it. Lopez wins the United States title.
And new Women's United States Champion, Lopez.
It looked as if Paige Evans grabbed the rope at the last second and got the rope break, but the referee did not see it. Lopez wins by a technicality, getting the 3 count. Despite the referee's mistake, we now have a new Women's U.S. Champion, Fuego Lopez, now representing the United States as its champion. Congratulations to Fuego Lopez, our new Women's U.S. Champion. We still got more to come though. We still have Damian Elliot, the son of director Charles Elliott, making his in-ring debut next. And we just got word from the back that his opponent will be both JPW and AEW star Konosuke Takeshita. What a fitting way for Damian Elliot to make his debut in GTW right here in Dystopia as he wrestles in Japan, facing one of Japan's biggest stars. And also, we have our main event tonight. Dio Sebastian, the World Heavyweight Champion, along with his sister, The Witch, will be teaming up with Amanda Price as they take on Archangel, the Warrior Princess Amber Charlotte, and the Empress Olympian Rebecca Troy of the Old Gods in a trios mixed gender match. That'll be our main event here tonight. And I see Jack Berry in the chat going, yo! Yo, what's going on, Jack Berry? Welcome to the show. You just missed an amazing match as Fuego Lopez just won the U.S. title from Paige Evans. But we still got more to come. We still got a singles match between Konosuke Takeshita taking on the in-ring debut of Damian Elliot. And the World Heavyweight Champion, Dio Sebastian the Witch of the Fallen, will be teaming up with Amanda Price here tonight to take on the Old Gods in a trios match for our main event. But first, we'll be back after a quick break.
The following is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, accompanied by the mighty, unbreakable, indestructible Hercules, the Olympian Rebecca Troy, Archangel, and the Warrior Princess Amber Charlotte. The Old Gods!
And here comes Hercules leading the charge with the Old Gods here tonight as we get into tonight's trios matchup. Amber Charlotte, Rebecca Troy, and Archangel will be taking on Dio Sebastian, the Witch, and Amanda Price for tonight's main event. It will be Dio Sebastian who will be defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Archangel tomorrow night, and Amanda Price who will be taking on Amber Charlotte in an underground match at tomorrow's pay-per-view.
And their opponents, first, from Allentown, Pennsylvania, Amanda Price.
And here's the former women's champion, Amanda Price, making her way to the ring. After being put on the injured list by the Warrior Princess Amber Charlotte at her debut, Amanda Price cannot wait to get her hands on Amber Charlotte, challenging her to an underground match tomorrow night at the Rising Sun. An underground match will have no ropes, no disqualification. The crowd will be surrounding the ring. You can win only by submission, knockout, or pinfall.
the World Heavyweight Champions, the Demon, Sebastian, and the Witch, the Fallen.
Sebastian, the World Heavyweight Champion, making his way to the ring with his sister, the Witch, the two forming the Fallen. Tomorrow night, Sebastian will be putting the World Heavyweight title on the line against Archangel in tomorrow's pay-per-view event. Right now, we're going to be getting a little preview of tomorrow night as these 6 wrestlers compete in this mixed gender trios match for tonight's main event. And we're starting off with Amber Charlotte and Amanda Price, who will be facing each other tomorrow night in the Underground match on the Rising Sun pay-per-view event. And we see Amanda Price putting Amber Charlotte in that submission. We could be getting a little preview of what's to come tomorrow, as these two women will square off. Remember, there'll be no ropes to hold them back, no disqualification. And here comes Amber Charlotte tagging in Rebecca Troy. The two women throwing Amanda Price against the ropes in a double hit toss. The two women now grappling up. And there's Rebecca Troy with a neckbreaker on Price. Rebecca Troy going for a chop. Amanda Price ducks under and counters, going for a suplex. But here comes a counter by Rebecca Troy. Dio trying to get that tag in. You see him reaching for Price. She seems to be in a lot of trouble as Rebecca Troy gleefully starts taking Amanda Price apart. And she goes, crushing Amanda with her legs. Amanda rolling out of it though. There's Amanda going off the ropes. And there's Rebecca Troy with a Samoan drop. Rebecca Troy setting Amanda Price, goes to be a powerbomb, but turns into a faceplant into the ring. Amanda Price gets the tag into the Witch, so the Witch comes in using her high-flying style against Rebecca Troy, a longtime rival. One member of the Fallen versus one member of the Old Gods. And here comes the pin. Dio manages to break up the count though. And there's Rebecca Troy slapping the Witch across the face, taking her down to the ring. She goes to drag her into the middle. But the Witch fights back. He comes in with those strikes. And there's a gutbuster by the Witch as she goes for cover. 1, 2, but Rebecca Troy kicks out. Here goes Troy, going for those elbows to the witch. There's a chop to the chest. Several chops. And then you can see Troy working on the witch's knee right there. 1, 2, but the witch again manages to kick out. She gets the kick in to escape the offense. And there's the witch with an elbow to the face, throwing Rebecca Troy into the corner. And she tags in her brother, Io Sebastian, the World Heavyweight Champion. Now the ring with a big body attack on Rebecca Troy. You can see that raw strength by Sebastian as he does a power slam right on Rebecca Troy in the middle of the ring. And a spinning punch knocking Troy down. Troy now tags in Archangel. Archangel will be Io Sebastian's opponent as he defends the World Heavyweight Championship tomorrow night at the Rising Sun. And it's Dio getting received by Archangel as he receives an elbow to the face, but here he comes, throwing Archangel right into the corner. Archangel on top rope, and look at that power by the World Heavyweight Champion. He now goes for the pin. 1, 2, but Archangel kicks out. There he goes, tagging in Amanda Price. Amanda Price with a moonsault. 1. And here comes Rebecca Troy getting a kick onto Price. Price now applying the submission hold on Archangel. Archangel rolls his way out. He has Price in a finals carry position. And it seems to be taking her down with pure muscle. And a devastating kick, jumping right off the second rope, taking Price down. And the Price going off the ropes, receiving a spear by Archangel. Luckily, Io Sebastian able to break up the count. Archangel now tagging in the Warrior Princess. Empress Charlotte, who will be Amanda Price's opponent tomorrow night at the Rising Sun. And there's an angle slam by Amanda Price using her signature move. 1, 2, but Empress Charlotte kicks out. Amanda Price not stopping though. She applies the crossface. Luckily for her, Archangel was able to get in there and break up the submission hold. That could have been it. That could have been a preview of things to come tomorrow night at the Rising Sun. However, luckily for Empress Charlotte, Archangel is there to break up the submission. With Empress Charlotte now tagging in Rebecca Troy. Rebecca Troy also has no love lost for Amanda Price, another longtime rival for this technical wrestler. Here comes Troy, getting on the top rope, measuring her up. She goes for a high-risk maneuver, however, it does not pay off. Amanda Price now taking advantage, and there's Rebecca Troy getting that arm drag in. Amanda slowly crawling towards Dio, looking for that tag, and Dio now in the ring against Rebecca Troy. Rebecca Troy sees an opportunity to roll Dio into a pin. You see Amanda laying on the ring, completely out of it as Dio takes a beating from Rebecca Troy. And here comes Rebecca Troy, going for a moonsault. She misses, but manages to springboard off the ring canvas and lands. She nearly got the 3, but Amanda Perez got in there just in time to break up the count. Ref only making it to a 2. Dio now setting Rebecca Troy up as she's in the corner. And here's a clothesline by the Demon World Heavyweight Champion Dio Sebastian. He now tags in his sister, the Witch. Here goes Troy, throwing in the elbows on the Witch, in the offensive. Archangel attempted to attack the Witch from behind, causing a distraction. Rebecca Troy now taking advantage of it, applying a submission hold on the Witch. However, she gets those strikes in, able to fight her way out. And the Witch with a shooting star press. 1, 2, but Amber Charlotte breaks up the count. There's the Witch signaling to the crowd. She's ready to finish this match. And there she is with her finisher move on Amber Charlotte. She gets to the second rope. Moonsault. 1. But Rebecca Troy breaks up the count despite the Witch landing her finisher move. There's an Irish whip into the corner. The Witch now tags in Amanda Price, the 2 women, throwing her across the ropes. And here goes a double head toss. Here comes Price, getting to the top rope. And here's a elbow drop going across the ring. He now tags in Dio. Dio on the second rope. Frog splash on the back of Amber Charlotte, throwing all his body weight into it. But Rebecca Troy manages to break up the count. Charlotte getting rather aggressive with Dio right now. Getting on that offensive, putting him into submission. Dio quickly getting himself out. There she is, using that technical prowess, that warrior instinct to take down the World Heavyweight Champion. Going for the cover, but the Witch breaks it up.
There's the tag.
She now tags in Archangel. Archangel stomping on the ribs, looking to soften him up before their title match tomorrow night. There he is, wrenching the arm across the top rope. Makes a tag to Rebecca Troy. And here's Rebecca Troy, applying the figure 4 leg lock on the World Heavyweight Champion. Dio looking to tap out. You see Rebecca Troy pushing her body out to gain leverage. One, two, but Amanda breaks up the count. And Troy, out of nowhere, landing the spear on Dio. She's lining him up, looking to go for the finisher. Dio manages to kick out despite Rebecca Troy using her finisher maneuver. Here she goes along the second rope with a frog splash. And Dio now bringing his elbow. He has Rebecca Troy right where he wants her. And here it comes. No, he attempted to go for a chokeslam, but Rebecca Troy managed to reverse. He quickly tags in Amanda Price. Amanda Price now with a clothesline. What an amazing trios match is turning out to be. As soon as one opponent gets the advantage of the other, one of the partners comes in for the save. Here comes Amanda Price going for a suplex city. That's 2 German suplexes. 3 German suplexes by Amanda Price on Rebecca Troy. She now throws Rebecca Troy into the corner, tags in Dio. A 2, throwing her against the ropes. And a double clothesline by Dio and Rebecca Price. And Dio coming in hot with a flying neckbreaker. Here comes the count. 1, 2, 3. The Fallen and Amanda Price take the match.
Here are your winners. Amanda Price, the Demon.
Could be a preview of things to come, as Dio Sebastian will be defending his World Heavyweight title against Archangel tomorrow night at the Rising Sun, and Amanda Price will be taking on Amber Charlotte in that Underground match. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night. We got the big pay-per-view event, the Rising Sun, which will be live at the Tokyo Dome tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Live at Infinite Fantasy /twitch.tv. This is Infinite Fantasy signing out. May your fantasies be infinite.